Welcome to the Aalyiah Show. People always say that I'm mean to the honeypot girl. Well, you know what? Today may just be a better day. Let's get into this.
Looking better than Dallas thought we could do.
I know, right? You look so cute.
Took off that aloe today, girl. I'm not gonna let him get in my head about
Please
that. Okay?
don't. Please don't, because it is not that serious.
But what I did do was dispute that charge. I was on the phone with my bank for 2 hours, like, oh, I'm getting that money back.
Really?
Yeah.
So you dispute the charge. So in other words, you asked the guy to help whatever it is, but you never liked the comments that he gave. So you disputed the charge. You see how people are weird? Well, what I'll say is this. Your girl Honeypot is not looking too bad. I'll say that, hey, where we have on.
And I cannot wait. I got all the proof, the evidence.
Okay, good. So they're gonna approve it and stuff?
Yeah, he
Okay,
didn't
good.
style us at all.
At all.
All he did was insult us. Like that.
You wasn't a stylist at all. Well, all right. I mean, it's a service. I don't think it's like when it comes to services, it's very subjective. In other words, I mean, it's not. There's no markers. He's a stylist. I'm a stylist. If you hire him to do something, you hire him to do something. No, depending on his paperwork, then that's I guess that's what's gonna matter.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, $5,000 deposit.
I mean, well,
For what?
I thought that's how much it costs.
I don't know.
So I'm doing whatever it takes so this podcast will be a hit. But also, I came across a few other profiles of stylists in Atlanta. So I know we had a bad experience with Dallas, but there are a lot of other people who are not going to judge us in that way. They're not going to be nasty. They're actually going to help us develop our style.
Okay,
and so,
let me stop you. It's really not that deep. Like, I feel like you're taking it too far. Like,
so you don't want another stylist?
no, I don't think I need one. I really.
Well, at least she's really and truly being real and standing up to Shayla to some level and saying, you know what, Shayla, I really don't feel like I want one. However, if I know Shayla very well, Shayla does not take soft nose very well. Your nose have to be very hard and you have to move the entire topic when talking to Shayla. Let's see if she can pick that up.
I was along for the ride, and this is my second time trying to get style, and I did not like that experience.
Okay, well, don't give up. Just because you didn't have a good experience, we can find somebody.
But Shayla, I really was doing this for you. Like, I really don't feel like I need any help. Like,
That's gonna be an issue because Amber did a lot of things for Shayla as well too, and look how that turned out. See, it's what I mean. Like, that's the only little thing I'll say with the honeypot girl. How can she not pick up the things that Amber has said? If I was in the honeypot's shoes and I'm thinking of doing friendship with Shayla, I would really and truly be friends with Amber and ask a lot of questions in regards to Shayla. I feel like that would help her in her line of friendship as far as Shayla is concerned. But hey, maybe she want to say, you know what, I don't want to judge her. So maybe that's what she's saying.
I know how to clean up. Look, you look beautiful today. Just wear your clothes.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. But
It's not
if
about
we're dressing up for the podcast, then we're dressing up for the podcast. I don't feel like we need a whole stylist spending all this money and time and energy. Like, Delicia was just talking.
Well, the truth of the matter is this, right? If it was a big top shelf podcast, then yes, stylists do come into play eventually. You know what I mean? So I don't think Shayla's mind is thinking wrong, because at certain levels, you do want somebody to start looking at that, because you may not be seeing how the audience is seeing you. So that is fair. It's a fair call as for what Shayla is asking for. Now, is it too early? Yes, it's too early. Now, as far as money and time and whatever it is that Honeypot Girl is talking about, I don't really go with that, because, hey, you have a boyfriend who has the money. You have the money. I'm getting a sense of cheapness from the Honeypot Girl. While I'm not saying you shouldn't just spend your money and throw it down the bunghole, right? There is also a way of doing business that come on, man, a little bit of tact and spending some money so you can make some money. So, I think she wants to wedge that a little bit, because I sense a little bit of cheapness. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with being frugal, but there's also cheap. There's a difference between frugal and being cheap.
If we all want to coordinate something, we could do that. I'm here for the ride. But to be honest with you, I told you this before, and I'm going to tell you again. I like how I am. I like the way that I dress. I like the way that I look. I think everybody on the podcast is beautiful, but I am not them, and I'm not trying to be them. I'm not trying to look like them. I'm not trying to act like them. And I really, really think that that's what's gonna make this podcast good. Different women, different opinions, different backgrounds, different everything.
I can respect that. If that's what you're thinking, if you're saying, you know what, if that's her explanation, I can take what she's saying. If she's saying, you know what, I believe that the podcast really would do better if we're all our authentic selves. In other words, however Delicia dressed, that's how she is. However the Honeypot girl dressed, that's how she is. However Shayla dressed, that's how she is. And we're gonna use all of these girls in one space. If that's what you're saying, if that's what she's saying, I can rock with that. I have no worries at all with that. That's a very fair comment, and I feel that's very stable as well.
Let it go. Girl, just let that go.
So you don't want another stylist. You don't want to just pull a few more pieces. I guess it's not about like changing who you are. It's just elevation. We're going up in life.
Okay, I love that, but I don't feel like I need to change.
Okay.
This feels like changing. You know
You're
what I
right.
mean?
You're
And even
right,
that
T.
experience was all bad and
You're
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Something tells me that Shayla is going to bring up by this conversation again, because Shayla is like that. She'll basically tell you that you're right in order to shut you up for right no, and then bring it back up again. You know what I mean? So, like I said, soft answers don't work with Shayla. You have to give her very harsh, hard stop answers, or else you're not really talking to her at all. You know what I mean? That's it's just how she is. That's how you communicate with a person like Shayla, because she is very pushy. She has a very pushy kind of persona. You know what I mean? Very, very pushy. So you have to be very, very fair, frank, and to the point. You know, nothing different. That's all you have to give it. I will give the honeypot girl this. I'm gonna give her credit for standing her ground for at least a little bit. I'm gonna also give her credit for what she's mentioning with the if you're saying the podcast is gonna be that, and I can see how she wants to fit her style into everything else. I feel like she has a nice idea. You know what I mean? You probably should do that. Yes, you should try to play yourself as much as possible, as long as it's not a script that they're asking to be somebody else. So I have no worries with it at all. See, Honeypot fans, hopefully, we're not upset after this one, but give me a take, like, share, comment, subscribe. Talk to y'all soon.